Axios is reporting that top Democratic officials who worked on a still secret report on why Kamala Harris lost the 2024 election concluded that it was in part due to her and the Biden administration's approach to the war in Gaza. Now, this is a big scoop because top Democratic leaders and Harris herself have not really fully acknowledged this before. And now, this decision to not make this report public is being widely criticized. I spoke to NOTUS reporter Jasmine Wright about all this. Jasmine covered Harris while she was vice president under Biden and followed Kamala Harris on the campaign trail as she ran for president in 2024. While you were covering Harris's campaign, was there an awareness that Gaza could cost them the presidential election?
I would be frankly surprised if they didn't believe this to be a major factor, because every time that she stepped out on a major stage, there were protesters at these events. I was at several of them. There were protesters at these events in a way that they did not show up on the Republican side.
Do you think Kamala Harris will run in 2028? Do you see that there are preparations for that? And how do you think she will handle Gaza, if she will handle it at all?
Well, I think that only the vice president actually knows whether or not she is going to run, and she actually might not even know yet. What we've seen her doing since post-vice presidency is traveling the country, promoting her book, in which aides of hers have said is going to allow her to kind of gauge the temperature of America. Obviously, we know that she turned down running for California governor just a few months ago, leaving open the option to again run for president. I think it's also a big question mark of whether or not her campaign and the people around her and her personally have learned the lesson of how they address the Gaza conflict. Obviously, the vice president spent a lot of time in 2024 trying to make everybody happy, trying to make people who were pro-Israel in the conflict happy. But at the same time, she was one of the few people around Biden trying to push them to at least make a rhetorical shift. And it was really her more so than other people advocating for him to be more empathetic, even if she wasn't advocating for a substantial policy change. Towards the Gaza conflict, towards the Palestinian people. And so the question is whether or not she recognizes that that was not enough for people and what she would do in the future.
The truth of the matter is any Democratic candidate is going to have to contend with this issue. How do you see the Democratic Party navigating this broadly in 2028, whether it's Harris or someone else?
I mean, the shelving of the 2024 autopsy, that according to Axios, concluded that significant support for Harris was lost because of the Israel-Gaza conflict, is one of the surest ways that we're seeing the Democratic Party handle this question. And so I think you're seeing them as a party not necessarily engaging with it from the viewpoint that they understand the dynamic enough to address it head on. Now, individual Democrats are obviously approaching it a little bit differently. There has been a shift from some House members to reject AIPAC money. There has been a shift from some senators who are up for re-election to reject AIPAC money. So I think individually, each Democrat is contending with it on its own. But I think party-wise, this not releasing of the autopsy that obviously has a significant portion of the Israel-Gaza conflict is a real telltale sign of how they're dealing with it.
Do you think they'll fold to this criticism and decide to change their stance and release it publicly?
If I were a betting lady, I would say it leaks before they release it voluntarily. That would be my guess.